Throughout the next few minutes, we'll be taking you on a journey through the planet well known for its rings, Saturn.
So let's get started.
Saturn was discovered in 1610 through Galileo's telescope. He was confused at first as to how to identify it because Earth passes through the plane of its rings every couple years. It wasn't until 1659 that Christian Huygens correctly identified the geometry of its rings.
Saturn is the root of the word Saturday and is the god of agriculture as known in Roman mythology. Now let's start with the inside of the planet and work our way out.
Saturn is one of the gas giants in our solar system, and it contains many gases including 94% hydrogen, 6% helium, and little traces of methane.
Also being the flattest planet in the solar system, it has a very windy atmosphere. In fact, wind speeds can get up to 1,100 miles per hour. In 2004, there was a superstorm on Saturn, and it was nicknamed the Dragon Storm. The lightning that the storm created was 1,000 times more powerful than lightning on Earth. This storm lasted roughly 11 years.
Saturn is made mostly of gas, so this would make it impossible to stand on the planet like we do here on Earth. Unlike Earth and the rocket is made out of, Saturn would be able to float in water due to the gases it is composed of.
The planet's famous yellowish-brown color comes from the hydrocarbons and ammonia crystals that encompass the planet. Now let's take a look at the famous feature, the rings.
Saturn's rings are very wide. In fact, they are the distance from the Earth to the Moon. However, they are not very thick. There are many rings, about 500 to 1,000. Scientists don't know too much about them, but they are believed to be covered in ice and rocks.
There is an optical illusion every 29.5 years that makes Saturn appear that it has no rings, and they are only visible through certain telescopes. These rings are divided into 7 different groups that have been named alphabetically in the order they were discovered.
What most people don't realize is not only is Saturn surrounded by rings, but also by 62 known moons, 9 of which are still waiting to be officially named.
Saturn, being the 6th planet from the Sun and the 2nd largest planet, is called the jewel of the solar system. Now, let's compare Saturn to our home, Earth.
From Earth, Saturn is one of 5 planets visible to the naked eye. This planet is also 9 times as wide as ours.
To put that into perspective, if Earth was the size of a nickel, Saturn would be the size of a volleyball.
Unlike Earth, Saturn spins extremely fast on its axis, which would make one day on Saturn 10 hours and 14 minutes, being the second shortest day in our solar system. It takes this planet 29.4 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Also, like our home, Saturn has seasons, but these seasons last up to 7 years.
In total, 4 spacecrafts have visited Saturn: Pioneer 11, Voyager 1 and 2, and the Cassini-Huygens mission.
The Cassini mission started out as a 7-year mission built by the European Space Agency to observe seasonal changes on Saturn and one of its well-known moons, Titan. It orbited 22 times between the planet and its rings. Then, after 2 decades around space, Cassini crashed onto Saturn's surface.
The Cassini mission has traveled a total of 4.9 billion miles while taking 453,048 total images during its time on its journey in space. While exploring, Cassini made some very distinct and important discoveries. The first being a global ocean with strong indications of hypothermal activity. The second main discovery had to do with Titan, one of Saturn's moons. When Cassini landed on Titan, it was the first landing on a moon in the outer solar system, and this landing made very interesting discoveries regarding them. One being it has liquid methane seas, and rain, rivers, and lakes, and it has a thick nitrogen-rich atmosphere that is very similar to what Earth's was like many years ago. This is believed to be one of the very first images that Cassini took of Titan.
Cassini also captured the first view of a hexagon-shaped jet stream that surrounds Saturn's North Pole. And with this view, scientists discovered a giant hurricane-like vortex at both of the planet's poles. This was a very major discovery for those studying Saturn's patterns. An entire seasonal period had never been studied in detail on Saturn before this mission, and this solstice mission schedule allowed for an additional 159 orbits around the planet, 54 flybys of Titan, and 11 flybys of the icy moon Enceladus.
Many people thought that this was what the final image looked like that the Cassini mission took. However, this image turned out to be Cassini's final image on its journey. Cassini started to run out of fuel, and after nearly 24 trips between the planet and its icy rings, Cassini finally plunged into Saturn's atmosphere on September 15, 2017, to its final ending on this journey. Thank you.